Houdini is one of those tools in VFX that is insanely powerful. It is used in feature films, commercials, and high-end motion design. Lately though, most artists, freelancers, and small studios are trying to use it too, often on just a single workstation or even a laptop. And that is usually when things start to break. Big simulations take forever to cache, final renders can lock up your machine, and sometimes a tiny tweak means waiting half a day to see if it worked. So in this video, I want to show you guys a workflow that lets you work on movie-scale Houdini scenes without turning your computer into a brick. Imagine you are working on a heavy scene with lots of complex simulations, maybe a big fire or smoke setup, or fluid, or even a distraction sequence. You could also be working on a really complicated USD stage with lots of assets. Whatever it is, the first problem you turn into is caching. And caching is how Houdini saves simulation data, so it doesn't have to recalculate everything every frame. Normally you do this locally, and here's where it gets painful. Your disk fills up fast, your computer slows down while it writes gigabytes of data, and for a while, you really cannot do much else. You're basically stuck waiting for the machine to finish. Then comes the second problem, rendering and iteration. Once the caches are done, you start rendering your scene, but the moment you want to change something small, maybe a timing tweak, a render resolution adjustment, or minor lighting or shader change, you're stuck waiting again. But here's what you need: a ton of processing power that you can use wherever you need it. You might already know where I'm going with this. The thing that we're looking for has to check some boxes. For instance, I would prefer this tool to work inside Houdini, so I keep building scenes the same way, and of course, be able to offload the heavy lifting somewhere else. Preferably, I do not need to export or import anything. I do not want to start managing scripts, uploading, or learning a new pipeline. And this tool is called Drop and Render. You might know Drop and Render from their amazing Blender add-on, which was super helpful when it comes to offloading tasks to the cloud right within the Blender interface. This Houdini asset is not different. It will make your life so much easier, especially on heavier projects. Combining how easy it is to use with how much it can actually do, this feels like a no-brainer for anyone trying to get the most out of their time, especially if you're working on a laptop or maybe on a lower-end desktop. So how does it work inside Houdini? After you install Drop and Render, it shows up inside Houdini as an HDA that you can drop into your scene. There's nothing special about it, I mean in terms of how you use it. It behaves like a normal node. You connect it the same way you already connect things in Houdini: cache nodes, USD renders, whatever you are working with. It works with Karma, Redshift, Octane, all of that. What I found refreshing is that it understands dependencies. So if you connect cache nodes first and a render node after, it knows what needs to happen and in what order. It will cache first, then render after, without you having to manage all that manually or set up extra logic. Before you submit anything, you run a scene check. This is basically a sanity check to make sure the scene is ready to run remotely. It gathers everything that is needed for the job: geometry, textures, custom HDAs, plugins, and even things like color management and OCIO. You do not need to manually package your scene or chase missing files, because it takes care of that part for you. Another thing that Drop and Render does really well for you is cache handling. If you've ever worked with large simulations, you know cache files can get massive very quickly, and this is one area where Drop and Render actually makes a big difference. You can decide whether you want to download caches back to your machine, I mean local machine, or just leave them on the farm and reuse them later. And this alone can save a huge amount of disk space. This is especially useful if you know you're going to render the same scene multiple times, so you can keep using the same caches remotely without pulling terabytes of data back to your machine every time. And as a bonus, it means you are not filling up your hard drive. Once everything is ready, submitting the job is straightforward. You hit submit, and the rendering happens remotely, while you can keep working inside Houdini. You can monitor the progress from the website, and even check it from your phone. Yes, there is an app that you can use. When the job finishes, the output is downloaded automatically to the same location, which you set in your render node. There is no relinking, no manual copying, and no extra step to get your renders back. But to be honest here, this is not a magical silver bullet. Of course, if your scene is inefficient, it is still going to be inefficient, faster, but still inefficient. So you still need to build proper Houdini networks. You still need to think about things like resolution, memory usage, and the scale of your simulations. What this really changes is iteration speed. You can test more, make changes faster, and not be afraid to push things further just because your hardware might struggle. And by the way, Drop and Render is a sponsor of today's video. If you want to try this workflow for yourself, you can get an extra 20% discount using the code below for the next 2 months. You will also get free credits when you sign up, so you can test it out without submitting anything. And this works whether you are coming from Blender or Houdini. So if you feel that your hardware is holding you back, let's be honest, who doesn't? Click the link in the description and check Drop and Render today. And there you have it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to this channel to receive more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.